thinking about moving to Apex, North Carolina, and you want to know whether it's the right fit for you, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'll share with you the 5 reasons I love living in Apex. There's many more. I've been here a little over 10 years. I'll also share a couple insider tips about the area, and even a few things you may struggle with if you're not from around here. Stay tuned. Here we go. My name is Heather Taylor. I'm the founder of Tailored Realty Group, where we create real estate experiences tailored to who? You. That's right. So if you're considering a move to Apex, a couple things I want to talk about first, and that is that you may have heard that Money Magazine ranked Apex, North Carolina, the #1 place to live back in 2018. Now back then we were a population of about 55,000 people, and since then we've grown a ton to 73,000 people. So you're not the only person who's thought, maybe Apex would be a nice place to live. So why is Apex so fabulous? Why are people coming here like crazy? Well, here are my top 5 reasons. Number 1 is that Apex has a really small town feel. Now, I grew up in Northwest Connecticut in the middle of freaking nowhere with a population of 5,000. So at 73,000 people, Apex doesn't feel like that small of a town to me. It is, however, significantly smaller than its neighbor Cary. Our neighbor Cary has about 180,000. And then Raleigh's got about 475,000 people. So we are a lot smaller than that. Nonetheless, population isn't really what I mean about small town. What I mean is the small town feel that you are going to get when you walk downtown Apex on historic Salem Street. It's just absolutely adorable, okay? It's a charming street filled with all these historic buildings that have been turned into these eclectic little boutiques and coffee shops. We have breweries, a wine bar, cocktail lounge, some other bars, and restaurants to suit just about any palate. For example, one end of the street is anchored by a really adorable little sushi restaurant. Then you've got a host of American casual cuisine type of dining like Scratch Kitchen, Salem Street Pub, and then you've got the Peak on Salem, which is a little bit more upscale American restaurant. Then my absolute fave, the Provincial, which is a farm-to-table type of restaurant. Menu is constantly changing. Side note, if you're someone who likes to eat at the bar on occasion like me, I highly recommend the Provincial. The atmosphere is just on point. It's super cozy. The lighting is just right. So you're looking for a good place to sit at a bar and have a delicious dinner, highly recommend the Provincial. But I digress. And then at the opposite end of the street from the sushi place, you've got La Rancherita, awesome, authentic Mexican, and you've got Anna's Pizzeria, great Italian and pizza. We've also got a bakery, and we've got fresh local ice cream and Kilwins. Now, I'll be honest, when Kilwins first arrived, there was a little drama around such a big franchise coming to our little sweet downtown. But it is owned by some locals, and the food, if you've ever been to a Kilwins, you know, the desserts are amazing. So I actually love having it down there. Now, we've also got 3 breweries on Salem Street, and that's a lot of breweries on one street. I guess we like our beer around here. And we've also got a bunch of different coffee shops. In fact, I could probably do an entire episode on breweries and coffee shops in Apex. Let me know if that would interest you in the comments, and I'll make the video if you want. Anyway, adding to the quaint small town feel of historic downtown Apex are some of the community events that take place throughout the year, and there are a bunch of them. There are things like the weekly farmers market. Then we have Peak Fest, we have Pig Fest. Yes, I said Pig Fest. We have the Apex Pride Festival, we have Juneteenth, the Latino Arts Festival, old-fashioned 4th of July where the kids get their bikes out and decorate them and do a whole parade. And then we have the annual Christmas parade, which, fun fact, a little insider tip about the annual Christmas parade is that the day before, people line up their chairs like their campfire chairs next to one another for a mile, all the way from downtown Apex to where the parade begins, like calling dibs on their spot the day before. And strangely, like, nobody ever touches the seats. And when I first moved here, I was just kind of shocked by that. I'm like, this can't be real. People's chairs are gonna be stolen. No, they literally will be there tomorrow when the parade starts and you've got your seats. So I don't know, just kind of one of those cool small town stories that I wanted to share with you. Anyway, although historic downtown creates a really small town vibe, the town is also big enough to have all the conveniences of a big town, which brings me to the number 2 thing I love about living in Apex. So the second reason still love living here is the big town conveniences. I swear you can't swing a cat around here without hitting a grocery store. We've got them all. We've got all the names. We've got the Harris Teeter, Publix, Food Lion, Whole Foods, Lowe's Foods. I mean, we've got a ton of grocery stores. We've also got all the big box and chain stores that you could want, including Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, Old Navy, Dick's, Ulta, Kirkland's. Anyone out there huge Kirkland's fans? Pretty much my entire house is decorated by Kirkland stuff. We've got TJ Maxx and Home Goods, and also some of your favorite food chains like Panera, Chick-fil-A, Subway, Five Guys, Chipotle, Chili's, and approximately 1 million Starbucks. That's a ballpark number. So when you're ready to escape the small town vibe, you just take a turn off Salem Street down 55 and you're on your way to all the modern conveniences of a much bigger town. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Oh, and while we're speaking of leaving the historic downtown area and the small town vibe, I promised to give you a few local insider tips, and I'm gonna squeeze those in right here. These 3 places are not located in the cute little historic downtown area, but they are local places and they're definitely worth checking out. The first place is Apex Wings. So if you love wings, you're gonna absolutely love Apex Wings. It's kind of situated in a little bit of a seedy parking lot just south of downtown Apex on Highway 55, but you will find a menu with a robust variety of wing flavors cooked to perfection. I prefer taking out because the atmosphere is not my fave. One of my second lesser known faves is Crumb and Cream Bakery. So this is the most delicious little bakery. It's in the cutest little setting. It's in a brightly decorated pink and white camper, like set off the side of the road just outside, just off of 55, like a little road, side road, you know what I'm saying? Off the beaten path. It's owned by a local mom who just has a passion for bacon. So highly recommend, if you love a bakery, go check that out. And finally, the Peak City Diner, which is new to the area. But if you're looking for that good old school diner feel, you know, like day after you've been out, maybe sitting at the bar having dinner, you, I think, will love this place. Honestly, I haven't eaten there yet, but it's owned by the same people that own a very popular diner in Cary called the Shiny Diner. So considering it's run by those same people, I would guess that it is delish. We don't have a ton of breakfast places in the area, so I think that's one worth checking out. Now, one other tip I'll tell you for my friends who are coming down from the north, I'm sorry, I do know directions, coming down from the north, my New York and New Jersey friends. Listen, you're not gonna find bagels, you will find a train. You hear that train? Anyway, you're not gonna find bagels here like you've got at home. So bring them with you. I always tell my friends when they're coming down from that area to bring bagels because there is nothing here that compares to the bagels in New York and New Jersey. So prepare yourself for that. Okay, we're in my office and ready to get back to it. We are on what? We're on thing number 3 about why I love living in Apex. Okay, the third thing I absolutely love about living in Apex is the outdoor spaces. If you're looking for places to walk, run, hike, bike, let your kids run wild, skateboard, go camping, go boating, play tennis, play disc golf, or my personal favorite, pickleball, Apex has got you covered. In fact, if you're a pickleball junkie like me, I could totally do an entire episode on pickleball in Apex. Various places to go, groups to join, things of that nature. If that would be helpful for you, just let me know in the comments below and I'll get the video created. But for today, what I'm going to do is tell you my favorite spot to enjoy each of the activities I've just listed above. Just know this is not an exhaustive list of all the beautiful outdoor spaces in Apex. There's just too many for this video. However, it will give you a good idea of where to do the particular activities that we mentioned. Let's start with walking, running, and biking. If you're looking for a great spot to do that, I highly recommend the American Tobacco Trail. It's a 22-mile Rails to Trails project that crosses through the city of Durham, Durham County, Wake, and Chatham counties. I really, especially for biking, and especially if you've got kids you want to bike with, there's no cars out there. The worst you're going to do is hit a few people that are running. Also a great place to train for like those long distance, if you're doing a half marathon or a marathon or something like that. It's flat, it's long, and in the fall especially, it's just gorgeous out there. Now, if you're looking for places to play tennis, basketball, or pickleball, there's a lot of different parks to choose from, but I would go with Apex Nature Park, or as insiders call it, A&P. It took a minute because that's like a grocery store where I'm from. But anyway, A&P has lit courts. So the Benny is if you want to play at night or after work or early in the morning, if you're like an early morning person, there's usually people out there pickleballing like before the sun comes up. So that's why I'm choosing A&P for tennis, basketball, and pickleball. And I would also choose A&P for disc golf because it's really the only disc golf specifically in Apex. Now, if you're a skater or you love someone who likes to skate, Hunter Street Park has an awesome skate park, and that's walking distance to downtown. So you can even, if your kids are old enough, or maybe you're a skater, you can skate there and then walk downtown, grab something to eat, or just, chill out in the area. Now, if you're looking for a place to let the kids run wild, I highly recommend Apex's newest park, which is Pleasant Park. Just opened the end of 2023. That's where I was actually recording yesterday when my tripod just fell over and died on me. Well, in a rather unfortunate turn of events, my freaking tripod broke. But Pleasant Park, awesome, awesome new park, big kids play area and facility. So check that out. Now, if you're into camping, boating, hiking, Jordan Lake is a great place to check out. That's on the western edge of Apex, and it has more than 1,000 campsites, and you can bring your camper or use a tent, an RV, whatever floats your boat. They also have 15 miles of hiking trails. They also have boat rentals and boat, what do they call it? Ramps, boat ramps, and you can rent boats there. And I would highly recommend, if you're not someone who drives a boat yourself, like me, check out one of their pontoon tours out on Jordan Lake. You can bring your own food and beverages, have a few friends, and it's so peaceful out there. See a bunch of wildlife, and your phone doesn't work typically, that there's no service on the lake, which definitely has its advantages if you're just looking to find a little inner peace. Okay, so let's jump into reason number 4. I love living in Apex. Now, it's the location. You know what they say about real estate: location, location, location. So here's why I think Apex is crushing it location-wise. First of all, let's talk about traffic. Is there traffic? Yes. However, it's not anything like other metropolitan areas. For example, I lived in Boston, I've lived in Miami, and the traffic here is nothing at all like that. Now, you're definitely going to hear people talking about traffic sucking, particularly during rush hour as you make your way between Apex and Holly Springs on Highway 55, or if you're traveling into or out of downtown Raleigh during rush hour. You're definitely going to see some traffic. And while it's frustrating, it's still very manageable. If you want to avoid it altogether, you can always just travel outside of rush hour, if possible. So other things regarding the location: Apex is only 20 minutes from downtown Raleigh, RDU Airport, Research Triangle Park, or RTP, which is where the new Apple campus is being built. What do you think that does for real estate prices, by the way? It's 35 minutes to downtown Durham, NC State, Duke University, UNC Chapel Hill, and if you want to get away for the weekend, Apex is only 2 to 2.5 hours away from the beach and about 3 hours away from the mountains. So not only is Apex centrally located within the triangle, with its proximity to the airport and beach and mountains, it's an easy place to get away from too if you just need a break. Okay, now it's time for the grand finale, the 5th thing I love about living in Apex, and that is the schools. If you haven't heard, the school system here in Apex, and in fact all of Wake County, is super confusing. In fact, I did an entire video just on the school system. I'll post a link to that up here somewhere so you can check that out. But all of that aside, the beauty of Apex is that even if you get capped out or rezoned to another school, the school choices in Apex are almost all great. And what do I mean by capped out or rezoned? Well, for example, my family moved within Apex, and my daughters are now zoned to Apex Friendship High School. However, that school is at max capacity, or what some people would call capped. And that means when we moved, my daughters didn't actually start going to Apex Friendship High School. Instead, they were assigned to the Overflow High School, which happens to be Apex High School, and that's the school they were already at. So that was really no big deal for me. Additionally, because of the rapid population growth, schools are being built all over the place, and students are often redistricted to new schools as we experience those growing pains. Now, before you freak out over that, know that students who have already been attending a school are not usually required to leave. They're actually grandfathered in, but they do have to typically find their own transportation. I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole on this one. Again, you can watch my other video for a lot more information about the school systems. The point is simply that if you live in Apex, you're likely to be assigned to a good school. Now, one other thing, if you are thinking of moving to this area, I do have school consultants that can help you figure this whole situation out. Even if you have some students with some special needs, we've got somebody for that as well. So just feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about that. All right, so we made it to the end. Those are the 5 reasons I love living in Apex. What do you think? Do the reasons that I listed tick the boxes for your next place that you want to call home? Which one's the most important to you? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. If you want to just chat, please feel free to reach out for a hassle-free consultation. You can text me at 919-274-2499, or you can email me at heather@tailoredrealtygroup.com, or you can stalk me all over socials. I'm pretty much at Tailored Realty Group or Tailored Realty Group NC. Anyway, I would love to chat with you, so reach out and let's talk. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.